Hello, I'm Edu from Edu for Java, and this is the first Android tutorial. We are going to make our first Android program. The first thing we are going to do is download Android SDK. Android SDK. Here we are. Click Start. And it says, point 1, prepare your development computer. Okay, basically here it says that you must have already installed Eclipse and Java SDK. I recommend you Eclipse 3.5 and Sdk 1.6. If you don't know how to install them, there is a tutorial in Edu for Java. The first tutorial which show you how to install Eclipse and Sdk. Let's go to point 2. Download and install Sdk starter package. Windows. I'm going to choose Windows, basically because I have Windows. Here I already have downloaded this. Then I'm going to pick the one that I have here, double click here. Then you can see a little folder here. I'm going to drag and drop this in the desktop. I expect you download it in a better location than me. For example, C root or C Android. Okay, anyway, if you double click this folder, you are going to find an Sdk Manager exe. Then make a double click on it. Here we have a recommendation to download all these packages, but we are going to choose a few in order to take not so long to download it. Available packages. Let's see what we have here. SDK platform Android. We are going to choose this and this one. This is the SDK, the last SDK, API 8, and these are the examples for this API. Okay, we are going to choose the last one and the examples. Once we have this selected, install selected, accept install, then we have to wait download. Thanks to the magic of TV, waiting is short. Okay, let's continue with the Eclipse plugin with installation. Follow the instruction, install ADTP plugin for Eclipse. We are going to pick this URL, copy, and go to Eclipse help, install new software, add. We are going to put the URL here as a name and as a location. Then we select all we get from this URL. Next, accept, finish. Installing software. The plugin is installing. Okay, here we get a warning about the validation. Okay, we can trust it. Restart now. Okay, we are going to restart Eclipse. Eclipse is coming, and here we are. We have the Eclipse plugin installed. Now we have to inform Eclipse plugin where the SDK, Android SDK is it. Window preference, Android, and the SDK location. I have already this, but you are going to have this empty. You go to browse and choose the location where you put the SDK. If you remember, I left this in desktop Android SDK. Just drag and drop it, and when you choose it, you are going to get this. That is the API we download. Okay, Android plugin has been installed and configured. Now we are going to create a new project, an Android project. You have here now with the plugin we have the option Android project. Okay, we need a project name, Android tutorial 1. We need an application name. We need a package, a default package. We need to define the activity. At least any application have one activity. Okay, one, maybe not, but in this case we are going to define the main activity, the activity that is going to start the application. I call the activity Ventana because Ventana means Windows in Spanish. And in the package name you can see I put the typical Java package. Okay, min SDK version. I'm going to use 7 because I want to try this in my phone that I have this version. Okay, we need to choose one of these. Even if I choose min version 7, I can take Android 8 API. This is risk, but you can do that. Okay, I will finish it. Here we are. Okay, let's check this. What do we have here? The most important of all the project and all the file more important in an Android project is the Android manifest. This is the definition of the application. Start with a tag manifest, and we can find here the application tag. Inside the application tag we are going to find the tag activity. We are going to find the tags services, for example, the providers, the content providers. Okay, the activity tag here talk about Ventana. If you remember, Ventana was the name of the activity. If we go here, we can see in the source code that we have Ventana. There is a class Ventana with have the same name than the activity. This dot means that Ventana is in the default package. The default package is this, and you can see here you have the default package here. Okay, we can check this. This in the activity, the label talk about @spring/app name. App name is defined as a resource, a string resource. Where is it? If you go here, you find resource, and in resource you can find values, and in value you can find string XML. Then if we check string XML, app name, then it's like instead of put just the literal here, we have an indirect reference through the string resources that are here. The same happened with this. For example, hello world ventana. We can see this is defined here and is used, for example, here. This is another important file, the main XML. And you can see how it's referenced from here. Okay, let's start the application to see what happened. You can go here, run as an Android application. Here you receive a message that say you have no virtual device configured. They say if we want, yes, we want to define one, a new one. Okay, we get into the manager we saw before, and we are going to make new, and we are going to put a name for this device. I'm going to call dev22 for a target Android 2.2, the API level 8. They ask for the size of the memory, the internal memory. We can put like this. It's okay. This is the default view. You can configure different kind of screen. Okay, the default is okay. Create ADV. Once you have created, we can select it and ask for start. I think it's already starting. Yes, it's here launching. Anyway, we are going to try to start it directly. Launch. Here is loading. Here we get. We still are waiting for the application to be installed, but the device is already installed. It takes too long. The first time it takes too long. We are going to try to. Okay, and check what happened. We are going to start it again to try to run as Android application and check what happened. Here it is. We are there. Okay. As you can see, Hello World Ventana, Android Tutorial 1 are these that we have here. We can change. We can put Hello Edu, for example. Save and again run as Android application. We go here and the application is starting again and Hello Edu. Okay, I think this is enough for the first tutorial. We are going to, in the next tutorial, we are going to see the components and more about Android. See you.